3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's the Jets punter now. Back deep is Emmanuel Sanders. Taken in at the 22. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his 3rd season now from Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
Allow me a second here to gush because in his college career, the only player in NCAA history to rush for over 1,500 yards and pass for over 3,500 yards in a season, and he did it twice.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. Yet he only won the Heisman Trophy once.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
It's brought in left side by Tate. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And this one is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower?
And this results in 6. Touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind you're thinking Lamar Jackson got in the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
For the New York Jets, a familiar refrain here in 2020, dominated again in Week 5, this time at the hands of the Arizona Cardinals, 30-10. The Jets falling at home and now 0-5. It's first time since 1996. They finished that season 1-15.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Complete to Golden.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
Second and inches.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, 35 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 33-yard line.
2nd and 3. And incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
29, incomplete. He was defended by Patrick Peterson.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now he's flushed out left. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Good for a Jets. The Jets take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Jewell. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. He'll run it.
Wrap up.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying the crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
And they got the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
New York set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. His throw incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And Sanders now to return. A second broken tackle.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Offside, defense.
So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson on the run. He'll let this go deep right side.
And that is caught. Boy, how about that one? He reeled it in one-handed for a touchdown.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
Visitors, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run with Jewell. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now Sanders. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Visitors, nothing.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The home side once again ready to take over offensively.
They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Cameron Brate, 74 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll give this one to Watt. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But I certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On the carry, it's Watt. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Watt. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 8 at the 38-yard line.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. After the interception, here's Jackson. Flushed out right. This is caught. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Golden Tate, 31 yards. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Fast footwork by Sanders. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
Mike 3. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Steps away. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
21-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson. And CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise. With Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
59 Mike, 59 Mike, check, 59.
Jackson from the shotgun. Dancing to his left. He may try, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field, we're thinking...
And it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Try to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
24-yard line.
And that'll be incomplete.
The pass.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Steeler legend Troy Polamalu with a pick. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Leonard Williams just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
17.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
23 yards the pickup there. He's going to let one flip. It's caught inside the 25. And what are the whistles for? Timeout.
That's good.
So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
10 at the 20-yard line.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll buy some time right. They'll try and run it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So celebration down on the field for a good, hard-fought victory here. And I tell you...